Now we're talking about all time, right? We're not talking about
All time,
yeah.
all time,
All time.
all time. I
Houston's.
think
I say okay.
Houston is okay.
Yeah,
When you think about all
Okay.
time,
yeah.
Okay.
I
I
say
agree.
okay. Yeah. I think we're all in consensus with that.
yeah,
I
we're all in consensus with okay.
hands down. Okay.
Let's stay with this theme of Texas, and let's go to San Antonio Spurs.
Great teams.
Great. Oh man. You got to go right above.
Yeah.
Winning record against every other team in the league. Uh,
I,
Their
pop.
big three dominated for so long.
I would say legacy.
You would say legacy?
Dude,
You'd say legacy?
how many years did they make it in the playoffs straight? Was it 15?
Like 22.
22?
Yeah.
Come on.
It was like 22.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
That's a legacy. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give it to it. Yeah. Hands down.
And
They're probably that,
I'm not even a Spurs fan. I just love Pop and I respect him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree with that though. Yeah. I'm
So-
I'm fine.
Sorry. So there's one more Texas team. It's
Dallas.
Dallas.
Dallas, I think, gets mediocre.
I was also gonna say I just think Dallas was like okay. They're okay. They're not bad.
How many
They're
championships?
doing better now than like
How many
before Luka.
How many championships they got? One.
Yeah, one.
One. But that was Dirk. That was a good one. Dirk did it by himself too.
Yeah,
So, like,
that
hey,
was-
Dirk was murder in that series.
That was a good one, but when was the all right? It's hard to say because the Mavericks haven't been around that long. Also, right?
I don't know when they started.
90s, I think.
couldn't tell you.
I can't look it up because it'll fuck up my screen cap if you want to look it up. But
I can look it up.
I think it was the 90s.
okay, you got it, Tyler.
Yeah, 'cause I only have one screen cap up for browser. I think they're at best okay, at best. But in order for me to make them okay, Luka needs to do some shit. They need a deep playoff run for a couple years.
They started in the 1980 exactly.
Started in 1980. Okay. And how many? Can you while you're looking it up? How many playoff appearances have they been? They've been in one finals, I think, and they won it.
Mavericks playoff appearances. Hang on. Everything's a list.
Yeah, right. They've made the playoffs 23 times, but they've been around 41 seasons, made the playoffs 23 times, so a little bit more than half.
That's not bad. How many finals?
This is at. I don't think this thing says the finals. Hold on.
NBA Finals.
I think just one, maybe twice.
Conference.
How many
Semifinals.
how many conference they have?
Fuck, they've only made the finals the time they won.
The one
Wait,
time
no.
they won, right?
No,
That's
they
the
lost the finals. They lost the finals in 2006.
Okay.
Won it in 2011, so twice.
So twice they won
Okay.
one. How many conference finals they been to? 4? Or just those two that they won?
They've been to a decent amount. We'll say like 4 or 5.
I say that elevates them to okay.
Yeah, probably behind Houston and okay.
Yeah,
I think Houston still has a better overall legacy.
hands down.
But Houston's been around as long, if not longer, and ain't done too much better, honestly.
That's true. They've only had the two from the 90s.
And but a lot more playoffs, I would think.
Yeah, they have a lot of playoff appearances.
Yeah. Probably like 30 something.
Yeah. So go ahead and drag Dallas up there for us behind Houston.
Where are the Mavericks at? Here we are. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's Texas.
All right.
Let's do our little.
What's the pick one?
Let's do our one right to our right, New Orleans.
Okay.
This is a newish team. This one's only been around for like. This is an expansion team, right? From like the 2000s.
Right?
Yeah.
And they were originally the Hornets, and then they became the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
Do we count Pelicans? Do we count the Hornets as well? Or do we
No.
just give them Pelicans?
no, we're
no,
only
we're just
counting the
counting New
Pelicans,
Orleans
and the Pelicans are a dumpster
Dumpster
fire.
fire.
I'm saying dumpster fire. Yeah. Sorry, Nola. I love you.
Yeah. Okay, then let's do the Charlotte Hornets because those teams are like together. It's also a dumpster fire.
Yeah, that's a dumpster fire, bro.
Insert Michael Jordan crying meme.
Yeah, right.
Oh, we should. If I could go into post, I should put that in right here. The Michael Jordan crying meme. Hilarious.
All right.
Okay.
Major, you gonna pick one?
Yeah, go Major.
Shit, I'll go the easy route and say Bulls. You gotta put a legacy.
Legacy. In front of the Spurs too.
Yeah.
Only because they have the GOAT.
Two 3-peats. You can't argue.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, you seem on the fence about it. What's up?
I was gonna say, man, he hasn't moved it yet. What's going on?
I'm on the fence about it. Well, all right. I'll give you this. This is my contention.
Okay.
I was gonna say great team. Basically because they haven't done shit since. There was the Derrick Rose years, which really went nowhere. You know what I mean?
His knees blew out, but I feel you.
I feel you.
And honestly, I blame that on the doctors. How you have your whole right knee blow out and they don't even look at the left. So then as soon as you come back, your left goes out. That was negligence.
Honestly, why the coach let him play 40 minutes? He was already winning.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses. I like Derrick Rose. I'm just saying. If you the Michael Jordan years make them iconic. So maybe is iconic the fucking measure of a legacy team? Maybe. You know what I mean? But do I put them in front of the Spurs? The Spurs have had fucking 20.
You're making good points. Let's put them in great teams for now, and then when we go back and look over the whole thing, we can readjust them from there.
I'm just saying. Even if they go to legacy, I think they go behind the Spurs. I don't think they go ahead of the Spurs.
Well, what you said was a very good point about them not doing shit since then, and
I can't argue with that one. That was you're right. Okay.
All right, Tyler, you go for it.
Sacramento Kings, dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. Horrible.
Yeah, honestly,
this year
they're actually worse than the Hornets, and they deserve to be at the end.
I would put the Hornets maybe above the Pelicans, or what do you think?
They're equivocal. I feel like they're very equivocal.
That's fine, but no, Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, I don't think they move.
Sacramento Kings may be the worst fucking team in the league. There wasn't a statistic that came out this year that said this is the 20th season in a row or some shit they haven't made the playoffs.
Yep.
Horrible. All right.
Terrible way to go.
I'm gonna go with I want to go with this one. Memphis Grizzlies.
Memphis Grizzlies C. What's mediocre?
Mediocre.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with that. What do you think? I think I agree too. Because see, Memphis is a market that I feel is like a kind of a crazy place for a basketball team in the first place.
Yeah.
We used to have a team in Seattle. I don't know why the fuck that ever went away. And there's a Memphis team, or Oklahoma City. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Memphis has done pretty good over the years. I feel like I've seen them in quite a few playoffs.
Yeah, and even before this Ja era, they still had the Mike Conley. What was that dude's name? Fuck. Zebo. Him and Zebo. They used to go hard.
And I think the Ja era, if he stays there, is going to be a good era for them.
Oh yeah.
So,
they don't have a long enough legacy to make them good, but they're also better than all the dumpster fire teams.
Well, can I get the next pick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Oklahoma City Thunder.
OKC. Mediocre.
Mediocre?
Yeah.
I agree.
I would say dumpster fire simply because of the amount of talent they've had and not been able to do as much. I say dumpster fire. Though.
But that being said,
they had Durant, they had Melo, they had PG, they had Harden, they had most recently CP3. Granted, he was surrounded a bunch of high schoolers, but You know what I mean.
But he actually did pretty well, despite being surrounded by a bunch of high schoolers.
Exactly, but it took the point God himself.
Well, I
dragged them.
I would say this. I feel like if there are basketball gods, they have been smiting the OKC Thunder for taking the Seattle Supersonics and moving them to Oklahoma City. And everybody and Seattle, who's like, tight with God, probably has manifested that.
I would agree.
Because there's actually a documentary out there. I forget what it's called. I'll see if I can find it. Well, I can't look it up, but because I'm on the browser. But it's a really good documentary about the Sonics, Seattle losing the Sonics, and they got fucked over so hard, dude. That city just got robbed.
And
they had Kevin Durant. They had just got Kevin Durant.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, rumor has it through the grapevine that like Seattle has like the best like hoopers in like the nation.
Oh, it's a great city. Have you never been? It's just a cool fucking city, man.
Oh, I've been to Seattle. Yeah, I love Seattle.
I have not.
It's great. It's super fucking dope. Yeah. I don't know. I would say mediocre. I wouldn't say dumpster fire. But only reason why is because they're a new team. They're like a Memphis Grizzly. Which of these teams came out in the early 2000s? It was them. Memphis Grizzlies. Pelicans. Wasn't there 4? What's the 4?
I think it was just OKC, Pelicans, and Hornets. Because Hornets were the Bobcats.
No, it had to have been 4 to be even. So OKC.
Didn't you say the Grizzlies? Huh? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
It would have to be the Grizzlies then.
Wait, was it Brooklyn?
You can't have one team come out and not 2, so it has to be done in pairs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Hang on, let me see.
Wait, can it be in like OKC, New Orleans, Charlotte, and Brooklyn? I thought Brooklyn was a newer team because they were New Jersey.
They were New Jersey Nets, but they were still East Coast.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, they literally added teams. Like there wasn't a New Orleans team, but that was the Hornets. But then they made the Hornets again, right?
Yeah, because it was the Charlotte Bobcats and then the New Orleans Hornets, and then they switched them. The Hornets became the Bobcats became the Hornets, and the Hornets became the Pelicans.
Fucking crazy shit.
Yeah, and then OKC before that became.
All right. Well, if I'm gonna put the Thunder at dumpster fire, I'm putting them at the top of the dumpster fire.
Yeah, top of dumpster fire, and we can change it like when we're done with the tier list. All right, Major, you pick them out.
Miami Heat.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Miami Heat.
I say they're okay.
I would say okay.
Yeah.
You think okay?
I think okay.
I would say okay. They had some good runs. They had a good one with D Wade and Shaq. Mm-hmm. Then they had the big 3 years. Very popular. D Wade. You gotta love D Wade. But as a team, just okay.
That coach has been consistent. What's the guy's name?
Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, Eric Spoelstra.
Spoelstra's pretty consistent. I like it.
He has a legacy there, I think. You know what I mean? I'd say he's okay, but I don't think he's above the Rockets. Maybe above the Mavericks. What do y'all think?
I think they're above the Rockets.
You think so?
Yeah, their championships are more recent.
How many
they have more?
They have 3.
They got 3.
I think it's not a bad argument. What do you think?
Yeah.
You're the deciding
factor.
Yeah,
I think they'd go above the Rockets.
All right.
Major, you want to pick out a second one or what?
Man,
stay in Florida. Okay. Let's do Magic.
Yeah. Let's go Magic.
Okay.
Mediocre.
Dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire.
Why dumpster? They have finals appearances with Dwight Howard,
and with Shaq.
Yeah, and with Shaq. Yeah, so
young Shaq.
They have those two separate areas of basketball.
Penny Hardaway is amazing, underrated.
Yeah, they have those 2 separate periods of basketball. But other than that, nothing too much else.
I would say dumpster fire though, because if we're gonna consider OKC a dumpster fire, you got to consider the Magic a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Right.
I would put the Orlando Magic in front of the New Orleans Hornets and Pelicans.
I agree.
I'll concede them to dumpster fire then. Yeah, you guys got some good points.
I agree.
All right. Let's see. Let's do Portland.
Ooh.
Mediocre.
Oh man, that's a tough one because I want to say dumpster fire too.
I wanted to say dumpster fire.
I knew you guys were thinking dumpster fire. I knew it.
I wanted to say dumpster fire, but I didn't want to be mean.
But how not?
I can't think of much that they do. I can't think of anything. Portland.
They've never had a championship, right?
Never had a championship.
They can't get over the hump.
But like they had
what's the closest
consistency with going to the playoffs for like 8 years.
But what's the dude, they got to be dumpster fire. What's the closest they've been? Was it Drexler years? They had one finals.
Yeah, that was when MJ shut him down
against the Bulls.
Yeah, they lost to MJ.
And their last conference finals was against the Warriors, in 2015.
They got to be dumpster fire, bro. But where are we putting them at?
Okay.
You know what? In light of recent events too, them just like shutting the whole team down, I'd put them below the Kings, like bottom of dumpster fire.
No, they're not worse than the Kings. There's nobody worse than the fucking
They gave
Kings.
up. They gave up on their. You can't treat Dame Lillard like that. He's been
the
so
Kings
loyal.
Haven't
You get
been
rid
to
of
a playoffs
everything.
in 20 years.
Okay. All right.
The Kings have been rebuilding for 20 years.
That's true.
That's fair. Okay.
There is nobody worse.
The
There is not a single fucking team on this list worse than the Kings. I am sure of that.
Okay, so where in dumpster fire are the Trailblazers going?
I would say there's somewhere between
behind the Magic,
but behind the Magic and Pelicans. Yeah, I would say.
I'd say put them behind the Magic, just because.
Maybe even behind the Pelicans, because if you think about the Pelicans' brief tenure in the NBA, they've had some playoff appearances and some. You know what I mean?
But it's always getting bounced in the first round, except that one round when they beat Portland.
How many times has the Portland Trailblazers been bounced in the first round?
At least that time where they lost just now.
Yeah, that one time.
At least that's what we were just talking about, yeah. And it was by the team we're going to put them behind. I'm down with that.
So they're going behind the Pelicans?
Pelican or Magic? What do you guys think?
I say behind Pelicans. I wanted them at the bottom, but you guys are...
I'll go with behind the Pelicans. I think that's fair.
All right.
Because they're just a disappointment. They should be better. Who's next? Who was the pick?
It's your pick.
Oh, it's my pick?
Yeah.
Well, it's boozing news, so let's go with this nation's capital team. Let's go with Washington Wizards.
Love it. The Wizards, with our criteria that we have so far, this team's a dumpster fire.
Has to be.
Yeah.
There's nothing redeeming.
I mean,
like when you really think about it,
this team might be the only team.
If you take out Bradley Beal, their best player before that was Gilbert Arenas.
This might be the only team that could give the Sacramento Kings a run for their money, in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's still not as bad as the fucking Sacramento Kings, in my opinion.
I say put them right in front of the Sacramento Kings.
You good with that, Major?
I'm good with that.
All right.
All right, Major. It's your pick.
You know what? Let's make Jonathan think a little bit. Let's go with the Warriors.
Yeah.
I'm going legacy, but I don't know what you guys are going to say. But I'll give you my defense. Why? Well, all right. So we know the most modern dynasty that they had, right? And I will give that the same accolades though that I would give the Jordan Bulls, right? You have the 6 years for the Bulls, the 5 years for the Warriors, right? But the Warriors has more than that. They got the years where they had Chamberlain, you know what I mean? They had the years where they had what's his name? Pistol Pete, right?
Pistol Pete Maravich.
Pistol, yeah.
You know, they had a good early day run. You know what I mean? The Warriors were one of the teams in the beginning of the league that was like trying to give a throat punch to the Lakers and the fucking Celtics, right?
Yeah.
And I think with the return of, the dynasty years, and we'll see what happens moving forward, but I think it definitely puts them in contention to be a legacy team. And I think that the market is also huge. San Francisco, I think that market. Top five market in the NBA has to be, right?
It has to be. I'm not even gonna argue that, but I'd still put them. They're equivocal as the Chicago Bulls.
But I'd put them with the Bulls. I agree with the Bulls. I see what you mean, though, because if you
go
way back...
Even if you say that, the Bulls got nothing else but that. So they'd have to be above them. They'd have to be above them at least.
You do.
You know what I
mean? Okay, yeah. We can put them above them.
Yeah. I mean, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Honestly, he might even have won me over. I might rework them into legacy with you as well, but I'm down.
How many? Can you Google for me how many championships they have? Because I know that they had one before the, or no, none. No, they didn't have any. I don't think before the dynasty, right?
Let's see, Golden State Warriors championships. All right, 1947, 1956, 1975, 2015, 2017, 2018.
Oh, so they got 6.
Total of 6. Yeah.
And how many finals?
They gotta have a fuckload.
See, that's what I'm saying, dude. That puts them. They have more finals appearances than the fucking Spurs.
Finals appearances.
I don't think they're a better legacy team than the Spurs, but I think that they're a legacy team.
So for finals appearances, 47, 56, 64, 67, 75, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. So
that's 11?
Yeah, I think we can go legacy for them. Yeah, that's 11.
Dude, that's a lot, dude. I'm not gonna say that's. I don't. All right, I would concede that they're not a better legacy team than the Spurs, but I think that they're legacy team.
Well, it's 2 against 1, and I personally just want to make a tier list with you guys because it's fun to do. So you just put them in legacy.
I just want to know. I want to be fair because that's my team, but I don't want to. I don't want to I don't want to be like they're number 1 all time, the best. Fuck everybody.
Yeah. Okay, Major, go ahead. Oh no, you picked that.
No, yeah, I just picked the war.
It's my turn. I got this one. The Cavs.
Interesting.
I would give them okay.
The Cavs are okay, but I think they're above the Texas teams.
I don't know if I go above Texas.
I don't know.
Nah. Wait, hey, they have one of the best playoff runs of all time. They're the only team in NBA history to come down from 3-1 in the finals.
Okay, you're okay. All right.
But they also fuck you with that whole thing because that was the team. That was the time when they were like, hey, who's your fucking most important player and possibly the MVP? Draymond? Just get rid of him.
Yeah. Hey, Draymond, you're fucking suspended, dude.
There's never happened ever and never will happen again. Like Bill Burr, I love Bill Burr. I don't know if y'all follow his comedy. But he totally believes the NBA is rigged, and if I ever believed that it was that bullshit I saw. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. But, okay.
I would say they're okay. I would say how many playoff appearances... We're doing this by numbers, right? Yeah. How many playoff appearances they got?
They actually have a lot. Hold on.
They're an old team.
They have 22.
Okay, that's the same amount as the Rockets, right? Or less?
It's the same as the Mavs.
Same as the Mavs. And they
have 22, 1 championship. But they've made
more finals.
They made the finals what was it, 9 years in a row or something like that?
9 years in a row, bro. It was some stupid stuff.
Not 9 years in a row, was it?
Hold on, I'm about to.
Well, no, LeBron's been in the championships, in the finals like 9 years in a row.
No. They only played the Warriors 4 times, and then it was the Raptors, so 4 times.
Yeah, but he was playing before that. Hold up.
But not in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's why I say it was LeBron that made it 9 years in a row.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Cavs.
Okay, wait. So lost in finals, won finals, lost in finals. That's 4.
Yeah, 4.
I see a 5th one here.
The 5th was the Warriors. Warriors had 5 in a row.
Okay, the rest of these are just Eastern Conference losses. Oh yeah, Michael Jordan. Yeah, of course he was knocking them out.
All right.
So they have 5 finals, and the rest are Eastern Conference.
I'm good with okay, but let's figure it out. Like, is it gonna be ahead of the Rockets? Ahead of where are we putting them? I'm saying.
Well, if we go legacy,
I'll say ahead of the Mavs.
I think currently they have a better management than the Rockets, and they also have one of the most legendary playoff runs of all time.
All right.
That's me making their case for them being above the Rockets.
So do they go above the Heat then?
No. Fuck no.
No.
I don't even think they go above the Rockets. I think they go below the Rockets.
I think they go above the Mavs, not above the Rockets. But honestly, the 3-1 is hard to argue. Yeah, there was some shady stuff, but it's hard to argue. So I'll say above the Rockets.
Okay.
Honestly, I can't go back and watch like a lot of basketball games, but I can go back and watch Kyrie and Bron score 40 in Game 5. Only because that shit was wild.
I hate that game.
It made no sense.
I hate it. Well, yep. All right. We'll put them there. That means it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Then I want to talk about another team that I don't like, the Toronto Raptors.
Oh, all the teams that
mediocre.
Hey, the Raptors are mediocre.
Mediocre for sure.
Yeah, I agree. But I think they're above the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
They got that one championship.
They got a chip.
Man.
They have a chip, and they have all the years where Vince Carter put in work.
You're right. Yeah. That alone. I would say, but they did get bounced 1-8 though.
And but they also had what's his name that ended up in Houston for a while.
Kyle Lowry?
No.
No, he was in Houston first.
No. The fucking T-Mac, right?
Oh, okay. That's true.
And T-Mac was T-Mac in the top 75, or did he get fucking?
He wasn't in it. Him and Klay Thompson.
Dude, they fucked them over, dude. How the fuck do you not put T-Mac in there?
Yeah, but they put James Harden and AD in there, which I think are 2 people who didn't deserve to be in there.
AD, honestly, in my opinion, should have been Dwight Howard if they were going to go with a younger, big player.
I think they gave AD way too much clout. Now, James Harden, I'm okay with. But I would still.
James Harden should have been T-Mac, man.
But
T-Mac is like one of the greatest players to not have a ring.
I would have rather have had T-Mac instead of Dwight Howard as well. And
yeah,
I believe that. Yeah, I'm down with that too.
So, okay. Well, what you got next?
Major.
Phoenix.
Ooh, Phoenix mediocre.
Yeah, they gotta be because they were so bad for so long.
Yeah. And even when they were good, they really didn't get anywhere.
That's not true.
The 7 seconds or less was a mean offense back in the day.
So that's not true exactly because the Nash years was really good. They just couldn't beat the Lakers. It's like going up against the Bulls. That's like saying like Patrick Ewing's Knicks weren't any good. They just had to play the Bulls, right?
Yeah.
Charles Barkley's Suns. They were really good.
They were mean too.
Just couldn't beat the Bulls.
They lost to Jordan, man.
Right. The CP3 Suns couldn't beat Giannis. If they win this year, the West, we'll see what happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But yeah, I think they're mediocre. Are they better than Toronto as far as mediocre though? Because they have a long legacy of like constantly making playoffs, having good teams. Well, at least their second good team. But like you said, they were bad for so long.
There's a lot of badness there.
There's a lot of bad there, but their good is really good.
I would say they're better because they have better stretches. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they have better. They over a period of like what, 30 years.
Yeah.
Toronto has this, right, and a little and like a little bit of this. They have the Kawhi, and then they have the fucking like Vince Carter and T-Mac, and that was it. You know what I mean?
They got DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, but that was also the team that got bounced as the 1 seed by LeBron.
Right.
Yeah, they couldn't beat LeBron, man.
Yeah, I think Suns are better personally.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
I'm down.
All right. Is it my turn?
Is it my pick?
I thought you just picked Suns. Who picked Suns?
I picked Suns.
Right, yeah,
so yeah, Tyler.
Detroit Pistons.
Oof.
Yeah,
I'd say okay.
Yeah, I'd say also okay.
Gotta be bottom of the fucking barrel though.
Yeah,
nah, they got 2 chips. They got 2 chips back to back too.
They got three chips.
Yeah, they got 3 chips.
They got okay, so they got 3. So why aren't we putting them with the Bulls?
No,
because
fuck
been
no.
Trash leading up to and after.
Okay, wait, okay, all right. Let's think about the whole lot. So we got the bad boy Pistons, right?
There's so all right, yeah, all right. Make your case, Ty.
We got the bad boy Pistons and all the shit that they went to. They have 2
back to back.
Then we have Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton. They pulled out 1.
That was the 3rd. You're right.
And that's the most disrespected. Honestly, did you know that team, there of every team that made top 75 players? I'm sorry, of every player that made top 75 players, they represented a player on a team. How do I phrase this correctly? The only team that won a championship. This is the way I should phrase it. The only team that won a championship that did not have a single player on its team not represented in the top 75 players was that Pistons team.
What?
Wow.
I'm a big fan of Chauncey Billups. Chauncey's my dude.
I actually love that team. I loved their energy. What was the center's name with the fro?
Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace. I love that motherfucker. He was aggressive as fuck.
He was aggressive as fuck.
And he wasn't even like Shaq size. He was just a regular guy.
Yeah. He was a tiny little center, but he played with so much energy. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So what's the case of them not being a great team with 3 chips?
They just don't got. All right. If Bulls is the standard for great team, where do you put them on great team? I would say if you want to go for okay, they might be top of the mill okay.
I don't think they're Miami level okay because Miami is still decent now.
So how can they be great and not okay?
Yeah, they're okay.
That's okay. That's a good one.
I'd say above the Cavs.
You can't be great and then not okay.
I'd say above the Cavs.
You don't think they're
behind Miami?
Behind Miami? All right. I'll agree with you on that.
Only because they're bad now. If they were good now,
I'd put them in great teams.
Dude, they've had a lot. They've had a lot of bad though.
Yeah, a lot of bad. Okay, Jonathan, what's up? What's our next team?
All right, this will be an interesting one. Indiana Pacers.
Dumpster fire.
But like at the top of dumpster fire. They're either at the top of dumpster fire or the bottom of mediocre.
I would think bottom of mediocre.
I'll give them bottom of mediocre.
Because I just got to give clout to all those years with Reggie Miller. I saw him every time, you know what I mean, in the playoffs, you know what I mean? And then they had a pretty good stretch with
Ron Artest in that game?
No. What? Yeah, that too. But then
that one wasn't bad.
What the fuck is his name? Who went to the Clippers?
Paul George. Oh yeah, you're right. The Paul George years were good.
Paul George years, they were always every year in the playoffs. You know what I mean? And even for a while, Oladipo before he got hurt.
True.
So I would say they're mediocre, but they're bottom barrel of a mediocre.
I'll say bottom of mediocre.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I'll concede that.
Tight. All right, it's you, Major.
Hawks.
Fun.
Atlanta.
This will be fun. Gotta be.
I feel like the same thing with this team, how it was with the Pacers. Like this team either be a dumpster fire or like the top of or the bottom of mediocre.
So look up because you got the phone. How many playoffs have the Pacers been to versus playoffs the Hawks have been to? I'm curious.
All right, hold on.
I'll look up Hawks if you look up Pacers.
Pacers, okay. Just playoffs or finals?
Playoffs. And I bet you both those teams are old as shit. Both of them have to be like original NBA teams.
All right, so you answer yours. Playoff appearances for the Hawks.
So the Hawks have been around for. Okay, if we're doing just NBA, they've been around for 53 seasons, made the playoffs 34 times, 0 championships. When it was still the ABA and the NBA, they were around 71 seasons, 46 playoff appearances, 1 championship. But we're only doing NBA shit. So
NBA, yeah.
Yeah, so 53 seasons, 34 playoffs appearance, 0 rings.
Okay, what we got for Pacers?
So Pacers they've been to the conference finals 8 times. And they're one of 11 franchises to have never won a championship.
Same as the Hawks. Yeah. What year?
Yeah.
What year did they start?
It doesn't tell me that. Hang on. 36 times. The Pacers have been 53 seasons.
Same. I told you they're both
36 times they made the playoffs.
They've been here since the beginning. Both of these teams.
Yeah.
So neither one of these teams have won a chip. They've been here since the beginning. And how many times have they been in the playoffs? 36?
Yeah, 36 times they've been to the playoffs.
So they're pretty evenly ranked. I say we got to put the Hawks right next to the Pacers.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
They're like equivocal, yeah.
I mean, basically should be on top of each other if that could be possible. How do I...
Yeah. We just put them next to each other.
Put them next to each other.
Well, we stated that they were equivocal in this scenario.
All right.
All right, Major.
Oh, Major just went. Hawks.
Yeah, it was Hawks.
Oh, sorry. Me? 76ers. Yeah, this team has a weird history. But they were also bad in a stretch.
Have they ever won a finals?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No, I bet you they did. I bet you it was long ago. Can y'all look it up?
Yeah,
I'm looking it up right now.
I think they did. It had to have been during like 70s. In between like some Celtics and Lakers.
They actually have 2 chips.
When was it?
Mine doesn't say. It just said I can look at it. They have 37 playoffs appearances and 58 seasons. They won in 67 and 83.
I told you.
Yep.
It was in between some Lakers and Celtics shit. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Now Barkley never got a ring, so he wasn't on that team. He wasn't on the 76ers. He must have came on like the year after that. That's funny. All right. Well, because Barkley was drafted to the Sixers, right? Like what, 84? That's funny. Okay. I would say mediocre. They have 2 chips, but like top of mediocre.
Oh yeah, Dr. J was on that team that won a championship, and that's his 1 ring.
Yeah. Like they just have
top of mediocre, so you put them above the Suns.
Oh yeah,
Suns haven't won anything. Yeah, so yeah, I'd go above the Suns.
They got 2 chips.
I mean, well, recently. So
they haven't won anything
recently either.
Well, Sixers haven't won anything in 40 years.
Yeah.
But
all right.
I mean, they do have 2 chips, and they have had a lot of good players. They had Allen Iverson. They had a whole bunch of shit with that.
That's true.
All right.
I mean, I'd be willing to put them on okay, but they'd have to go below the Mavericks. It's up to y'all. You know what I mean?
I think because they're doing well now, and they've had all the chips from the past, and had a lot of good like legacy players that a lot of people know about, they should go at the bottom of okay.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Okay, John, that's your pick.
Well, we talking old school teams that have been around forever. Let's do the New York Knicks.
New York Knicks? That's going to be hard to do.
I'm not much of a Knicks fan.
Yeah, me neither.
But they got a pretty crazy history, bro.
They have a pretty crazy history, but they're so bad now.
Let's do our they are. And you know what? Phil Jackson might have fucked them up like for a decade. But let's go ahead and give me those numbers. How many
Knicks playoffs appearances?
I bet you it's got to be like in the 30s. How many finals? How many rings?
Playoff appearances. Knicks have made the playoffs 37 times out of their 71 seasons.
71.
That's bad.
But that's also that's got to be ABA. That's not.
It probably is.
Oh no, wait. 75 is the NBA, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's straight up NBA. 71 seasons, yeah.
Ooh, that's not that good. All right, so then, how many finals?
Finals.
4?
This team might go mediocre. I'm not gonna lie to you.
5 and 51, 52, 53, 70, and 72.
And how many championships?
Oh wait, hold up. 73. Okay, hang on. It pulled up more. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8 times. So 51, 52, 53.
8 finals?
70, 72, 73. No, 8 times they've made the championships to the finals.
They made finals. But how many times did they win?
No. 0.
Goose egg?
Mediocre. No way. No.
2. It says my bad.
Yeah.
It keeps everything's a list, man. So it's pulling me over into like specifics, like none with this coach, none with ever. But total out they have 2 championships in 70 and 73.
So in my opinion, all right, 8 finals, right?
8 finals.
2 chips.
2 chips.
Look at our okay list. I don't think we can even go into great because it ain't nothing like the Bulls. So
no.
Look at okay. Where would you put them on there with 8 finals and 2 chips?
8 finals, 2 chips.
I mean, I feel like around the Pistons, right?
Yeah.
No. I'm putting them lower only because they were trash. They've been trash for 20 years.
I get you, but that's more than the Rockets. That's more than the Cavs.
That's true.
Yeah, I'd say around.
Are they above or below the Cavs?
Below the Cavs.
Below the Cavs?
And this hurts me. I'd say below the Cavs just because the Cavs have, like Tyler was saying earlier, they have a good
that 4
record.
Run.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. If the Cavs weren't good currently, my whole argument would have been blown up.
I don't agree with that. I want to argue a minute more. I would say they're not above the Pistons, but they're above the Cavs. And the reasons are this. I want to look up some of the best players, like people that we don't even know that played for the Knicks, right? Like the argument I made before, for a decade, right? The Knicks were the number 2 team or the number 1 team in the league, if not the Eastern Conference, but the Bulls just beat them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it came down to it, you know what I mean?
But it happened like losing like that affects your legacy.
I know, but that's the same shit that happened with like. I mean, that just I get you. It affects your legacy. So obviously, you can't put it. But here's the deal: in that same time period, think about this, all the clout that we give the Bulls, right?
Yeah.
Are from that period. And that team, who was the second best team or the third best team in that whole era?
It was the Pistons and the Knicks.
No. I'm talking about the 90s.
Oh, Pacers, Bulls, Knicks.
No. The 90s. In the Eastern Conference.
Oh, okay, wait. Okay, wait, like early 90s or late 90s?
All 90s. The best teams in the 90s, I mean, we can look at this statistically. The best teams in the 90s in the East were the Bulls, the Knicks, right? And
Bulls, Knicks.
And then Knicks definitely second. If you had to pick a third, maybe
Celtics, huh?
Maybe
I don't think the Celtics were good in that time frame.
No, they weren't great. They weren't good in that time frame. No,
it was the Pacers.
It was maybe the Pacers or the Magic because then the Magic had Penny Hardaway and Shaq.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm just saying, for all the clout we're giving the Bulls in that time period, for a decade, the Knicks, in fact, at some points, the Knicks were like number 1 seed team and shit. They just couldn't bounce the Bulls in the playoffs.
Okay. I'm
gonna give you the same argument here in a little bit when we get to the Jazz. But I think the Knicks deserve to be around the Pistons, either next to them or above them. Like they're somewhere in there. I would say to the point that they've been in it for 71 years and they have been miserable, they should be below.
I say only due to if they were good this season, I would do it. Legacy, they've been bad. They had that period of stretch where they were god awful dumpster fire, and they're lucky that we're all agreeing on okay, because I'd put them in mediocre. I say they still go below the Cavs. Major, you're a deciding factor.
Because I was thinking in between. He's got me thinking below the Pistons, above the Cavs. I was thinking below the Cavs simply because of the run, but I don't know, man. It's not my team.
It's just all right. Either way, you guys decide. The thing is, they haven't been good. They haven't been good in 30 years, man.
All right, I'm gonna coin flip it.
They haven't been good. Yeah. They haven't been good in 30 years.
Oh no, I got a coin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's been. I get your point. The only thing saving them from being mediocre is the fact that they were once good. It's been 30 years, dude. They used to have.
So what? Heads we go above, tails we go below the Cavs.
Yep.
Heads above, tails below. It is tails.
All right, so they're below Cavs.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay-Z.
Jay-Z and Spike Lee.
Stephen A. You lose.
Who picked the Knicks as their team?
I did.
Okay, Major, go ahead.
Shit, let's get it out the way. Let's go the Jazz then.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's your argument for the Jazz?
That I don't think have they ever won a chip? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Let's see.
Gotta get back.
Jazz playoff appearances. We have
30.
In 36 seasons, they've made the playoffs 24 times.
That's good. That's a good ratio. So 36,
not bad.
36 puts them into what? Like I'm not good at math. That puts them into like 76.
Yeah, I mean the Jazz have like 3 kind of teams that were good. They had the Stockton team. They had the team that they have now is decent. And who was their team before this team? Oh, the Deron Williams team and Carlos Boozer.
Their finals appearances they have 2, 97 and 98.
That a reason alone. I mean, and they're good now, but I still think they're mediocre.
They're still pretty. It's still pretty young, but their ratio is pretty high. I would get them into okay.
What, bottom of okay?
Bottom of okay. Bottom of okay.
What do you think?
I would say it's hard to quantify because I feel like they're like the Knicks, right? They were a team that was good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the second best team, right? Like the Karl Malone teams, John Stockton team, I legitimately believe was the second best team in the league. But nobody gives a shit about second place.
Yeah, exactly. Second place gets nothing.
Right. And so I would say we'd have to put them in okay. And I think because they have 0 rings, they got to go
at the bottom.
They got to go bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's crazy because Karl Malone and John Stockton were both beasts. And this current team of theirs that they had, they've been in the playoffs every year, I think, with this current lineup.
Past few years, yeah, they've made the playoffs.
For like how many years straight? Like a decade straight?
I think as long as Donovan's been in, they've been in.
Yeah.
So at least like 7 years.
But yeah, I'll go with the bottom. Okay.
Okay. Shit. My pick then. The Milwaukee Bucks.
This is gonna be a funny one. Okay. Well, they won their first chip, right? That was their first one, right? In NBA history.
I say somewhere in okay.
I say somewhere in okay. But they're also one of the oldest teams. We're gonna give, how many years? Like 70 years?
You're right. Yeah, they're also one of the oldest teams. And me playing devil's advocate, I say they could be at the top of mediocre.
Hang on.
I mean, they're good. Their only success is
I agree with you, because if you look at it, if they've been around for 70 years, they have one chip. You're talking about teams that had a long stretches of
3 finals appearances.
Okay, but one chip, right?
One chip. Hang on, let me see how many playoffs.
Not that many.
Playoff appearances, they have
20?
33 out of their 53 seasons.
Okay, so that's a better ratio than the Knicks.
Yeah.
But less championships than the Knicks.
Also true. But they've only made the finals 3 times.
They were bad equally as long.
Just about. I mean,
but then you also have to go back to the past. Didn't they have didn't they have Kareem?
They did. And that's probably the time that they won.
That probably is the time. It probably. No, they didn't win, because that was their first championship with Giannis just now.
Oh no, that's right.
That was one of the times where they made the playoffs. The finals.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I say they can go at the top of mediocre.
I would say they actually might make okay.
Where in okay?
That's the question. Because I would also say somewhere in okay.
I would say above the Jazz.
Okay.
Maybe not above the 76ers. How many finals did the 76ers have?
3 finals.
The 76ers also have 3.
76ers also have 3, but see, Sixers have none. They have no rings.
So maybe
the Sixers do have rings.
76ers have 2, I think, or 3.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, 2 or 3. I couldn't remember.
Fucking up.
I would say they're behind the 76ers.
Okay.
But above the Jazz, because the Jazz got none.
I'm down with that.
And Milwaukee is also, and Milwaukee might be the smallest market in the entire NBA. Which is why Giannis, who might be the best player, gets no love.
You think Giannis gets no love? What?
Dude, there's a real debate on whether or not he's the best player in the league, and nobody wants to hear it because he's in fucking Milwaukee, which most Americans couldn't even point to on a map.
That's fair, but I think the Greek Freak gets tons of love.
Yeah, but you ask an American where Milwaukee's at.
I don't dispute.
Or how to spell Giannis. Like we're a bunch of uneducated idiots, bro.
I feel you. I don't disagree. But I feel like these uneducated idiots love some Giannis Antetokounmpo.
We'll see.
I have no clue how to spell Giannis. I just thought about it.
It's I think I do. Isn't it Giannis?
Yeah. It's
either the I, but it's either the A and the I are Swiss or the I and the A are Swiss.
Giannis.
It's Giannis. So he had it right. GIA. Yeah.
Damn.
All right. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Well, just to get them out of the way, because I don't know why they're still doing anywhere on the board. Minnesota Timberwolves.
Dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire, right?
Papa dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire.
But let's do our due diligence.
No, wait, they're behind the Magic in dumpster fire.
I'm gonna get my beer. Y'all do the math real quick and let me know about if they do their playoffs and had they been to a finals? I don't even know.
I don't think they've been to the finals. Maybe with KG.
Last made the playoffs in 2018. When they lost in the first round, they made the playoffs a total of 9 times in their 32 seasons. So yeah, dumpster fire.
Yeah. They're either behind the Magic or behind Portland.
Do they have any playoffs? I'm sorry. Do they have any finals?
They made the playoffs 9 times in their 32 seasons.
That's awful. How many? No finals?
No finals.
No finals.
All right, bro. This might be the only team that can go right above the Kings.
You think so? I would say they're like. I think they're better than Washington. Washington also has no finals.
How many playoffs for Washington? More.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'd put them by the Kings.
They got
right ahead of the Kings.
All right.
Major. Shit. I mean, we're down to the last 4. Let's go Lakers.
Legacy, dude. Come on.
Yeah,
their legacy. It's easy. I don't know why it took us so long to get them. To be honest with you,
my nigga Kobe said, they're at the top of the legacy.
Of the legacy, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Kobe's dead, bro. We gotta do it for Kobe.
I mean, fuck Kobe. Magic. Jerry West. I mean,
Kobe's the best player to touch a basketball, but that's up for debate.
That's up for debate, man. Also, there's going to be no legacy team that beats the Lakers. That's just facts. All right.
That's also very true.
All right.
Let's move to. I will pick the Clippers.
Okay.
My current favorite team.
I say. All right. Let's do the math, because I remember as a kid in the '90s going, "Who the fuck are the Clippers?"
That's disrespectful.
So
that's disrespectful.
How many playoffs they got? No, honestly, when I would watch games and we would play the Clippers, I'd be like, where are they? And they'd be like LA, and I was like, LA has 2 teams?
One city has 2 teams? That makes no sense.
And that was in the 90s, and I was like, why is this a thing?
Clippers playoff appearances. Hang on.
Yeah, I'd love to know how many years they've been around and what their ratio is.
First round. They passed the first round of the playoffs 5 times. Clippers have never won the conference title.
That's bad. They've been around forever too.
When the stat says, "Hey, you've made it out of the first round 5 times," it bodes poorly for the rest of the stats.
So
they've been around since 1970, so that's 52 years.
Yeah.
They lost.
So this team's at the top of dumpster fire, or what?
Are they even top of dumpster fire? Because the Thunder have been to the finals. The Clippers have never even been to the finals, I don't think.
But if we're going overall legacy, like, you should be like the Lob City.
Lob City was big for a little bit.
Is that bigger than fucking Durant and Westbrook and Harden that went to the finals? And
bigger.
And only lost to LeBron and fucking Dwayne Wade in the Big 3?
They lost that one time, but after that, they were complete ass after that.
How many times did Lob City go to the finals?
0.
None.
Well, we all know that Lob City is the trashiest, best team of all time.
And here's the thing. Actually, when I've been listening to the Old Man in the Threes podcast,
yeah.
And when he talks about the Warriors facing them, he's like, as soon as they figured us out, it was over. He's like, they didn't even take us serious anymore.
So
my point is not only is the Clippers, I think, a dumpster fire, but I think they're below the OKC Thunder.
Okay.
And they could right this ship. You know what I mean? Like, the story is, like, with Paul George and Kawhi on the team, good things could happen. They just haven't happened yet. Like, nothing has happened yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, injuries have, like, stopped them. Injuries and stupidity have stopped them recently.
Yeah. But if you look at their historic history... Yeah.
Actually, hey, you know what? They blew that 3-1 lead. You're right. They're in a dumpster fire.
I say below the Thunder, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. I forgot they blew that 3-1 lead.
I'm down with that.
You down? All right. Clippers is going here.
3 left.
All right. Oh, I'm so happy. All right, so I get to pick one, and you guys get to pick one. What am I gonna leave y'all with? I'm gonna do Nets.
The
Nets.
Yeah. So the Nets
since
also
it's only the Brooklyn Nets and not the New Jersey Nets, we can only judge them off their Brooklyn status.
Can we?
Yeah.
All right.
If we're going solely off Brooklyn, I'd say dumpster fire. They tried so hard and have gotten nowhere. They're in the play-in tournament right now.
So that's an interesting decision because when do the Brooklyn Nets? They got to be the newest team in the league, right?
Well, one of them at least.
Like that, yeah.
No, they got to be the most, right? Because the Nets were around like 10 years ago.
I mean, just because I don't know when the Pelicans changed their name. That's what I'm saying. The Hornets, and the Nets all got to be around the same.
I'm trying to look it up right now. Let's see. 2012.
Yeah, that's recent as shit.
Because they were the New Jersey Nets. Because remember, what's his name?
Jason Kidd played on the New Jersey Nets.
Jason Kidd was on New Jersey Nets, and they won. Yeah. And then didn't they win the finals?
Shit.
The Jersey Nets. Hang on.
Jason Kidd has a ring, doesn't he?
That's a good question. Didn't Dirk? Wait, him and Dirk got that ring together. That's what I thought his ring was.
Oh, Dallas.
Yeah, in 2011. Yeah. Yeah, but that was in Dallas. That was when Kidd got his.
Yeah. So Kidd has 2 rings, one as a player, one as a coach.
Yeah.
Okay. I say you have to think about the. So to be honest, I don't think you can do this thing where are we gonna just judge them since 2012, or are we gonna think about because the Nets have been an NBA team since 1976.
Okay.
They were always a terrible team in New York, and then they were so bad that they became the New Jersey Nets, right?
Okay.
And they started to kind of get good, and then they became the Brooklyn Nets.
I think no matter how you look at it, this team doesn't go past the bottom of mediocre.
Yeah, I'm looking up the.
And that's the best. I say dumpster fire simply because they're super new. They tried to make some really big, really aggressive moves right out the gate, and nothing's come to fruition.
And this is their second super team that failed.
Yeah.
Because they had the Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Darren Williams.
So they have 22 playoff appearances in 45 years.
Oh, yeah. That's dumpster fire statistics.
That's half. Dude, we were talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves had how many? 9 and 40? Nah,
Timberwolves were trash. You're right.
Yeah, but that team's in dumpster fire.
Well, yeah, and Sacramento Kings has not had one in 20 years. So I'm saying, like, if they're going to be dumpster fire, where are we putting them at? Because...
In front of the Clips?
In front of Clips. In front of Clips, for sure.
Only because they've had, like, recent failures, too, and they're in the play-in tournament now with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And they picked up Kyrie Irving, who's the most drama player in the league. A man takes personal days for his mom's birthday, bruh.
I would say behind the Clips, honestly.
Behind the Clips? Okay, I'm cool with that.
Behind the Clips is fine.
Yeah. All right.
Behind the Clips is fine.
It's on you, Major.
I mean, I'll go with the easy ones again. We'll say Celtics, and you got to drop them in legacy.
Number 2
in the legacy, yeah.
All time. Fucking Bill Russell. Bill Russell alone made this team a legacy team.
Doesn't he got 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 or 9.
At least.
Or 11.
Actually, 11, I think. I think more than
when
fingers.
You see him with all of them, he has like 2 on his thumb or something.
Yeah, more than fingers. Yeah. No. Easily number 2, and even if you got rid of the Larry Bird Celtics and you just had the Bill Russell Celtics, they'd still be number 2.
And then past Larry Bird, they still got what? The big 3.
They got Kevin. They got the one, but that's only one chip, right? With Kevin Garnett and.
That was one chip, but it was 2 good years, right? 2 or 3 good years.
It was 3 good years.
Yeah, I count the chip.
Yeah.
I mean, Larry Bird and them had, I think, 3 out of like 8 good years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're down to your last one, Tyler. It's gonna be the Nuggets. Where are we putting them?
The Nuggets
have no chips, right?
No chips.
Dude, there's so many teams with no chips. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you got to think like the Celtics and the Lakers got almost all of them.
Most of all of them, and then then it's the Spurs, the Warriors, and the Bulls that have like majority of the rest.
It makes me think that we should move Warriors and Spurs down to great teams.
All right, well let's place this last one, then we'll like look over the whole thing.
Okay.
I think the Denver Nuggets are at the bottom of okay. They've been decent for like their entirety of being around.
I know it's tit for tat, but I'm gonna say top of. Well, how many? Wait, actually, let's look at the numbers because let's do it fairly. How many finals have they been to? I don't think any.
I don't think any actually. Hold up. I don't want to use that website. I'm gonna use this one. They're 45 for 27, 0 championships.
45 of how many?
27.
That don't make any sense.
Okay.
You mean they're 27?
27 45.
Yeah.
So they're not above the Suns. They're not above the Raptors.
Have they made it to the finals at all? No. I'm sorry. Besides,
I'd say they're maybe above Memphis. They're mediocre.
You think so?
Dude, they made 0 finals appearances. How are they going to beat the Suns and the Raptors? Who at least the Raptors have a chip.
I just think they have a long they don't have too many dry spells in like their longevity of going to the playoffs. That's the only case I can make for them being okay.
Since when?
That's fair, but they haven't even really made it to the finals. There's no hump for them to really get over. They haven't seen what's past it yet.
All right. Just to further my point, how many conference finals have they been to?
Okay, let's see. There's one.
Carmelo.
There's one from the bubble, and they have the Carmelo one in 2009. That's a semi. 85.
4.
Oh, they have 1 finals appearance. I just see it. 78. Yeah, so 4.
So they got 1 final and 4 conference finals. No chip.
Yeah.
So look at that. Right. Look at that list. I don't know if I put them above the Suns.
Yeah, they're actually
above Hawks.
When you guys described it to me, they're like below. You think they're below the Hawks?
I think above the Hawks.
Oh yeah, I
think they're above the Hawks. But I don't know if they're above the Pacers.
Yeah.
So maybe in between.
Agree.
Or yeah, I don't know.
I agree. No, I think between the Pacers and the Hawks, right above the Hawks, right below Pacers. I think that's a good fit.
I feel like
I said, this team is. I'm telling you, if this team had 0 injuries, this team would be at the top of the conference.
I'm down with that. You down with putting it right there for right now, and then we readjust the numbers?
Yeah.
All right. I did not realize we were going to be doing this for 2 hours. I got to pee, man. So goddamn bad.
All right, top of the list. I think Lakers, Celtics definitely need to be there for legacy. But what about the Spurs and Golden State Warriors? Are those great teams or what?
I think we can move Golden State to great team.
In front of the Bulls or behind the Bulls?
I think we can move both those teams to great teams.
Are they both in front of the Bulls?
Yeah, I think so.
I would agree.
Because the difference is both of these teams have over 10 championships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's revisit our teams.
I feel like the Spurs and the Warriors have equal amount of championships. Despite the Spurs, the reason why Spurs is ahead on me is that they have so many consecutive playoff appearances.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah,
like that record will probably never be broken.
No,
I think the fact that the Spurs have a winning record against all the other teams, despite where they are on this list, the Spurs have beaten them enough times for, their trash seasons to not really have made a dent on their record against them. So I give that to them as well.
Yeah.
All right, so this is fine. Lakers, Celtics, Spurs, Warriors, Bulls. Does that sound good? Top 5?
Yeah, that looks good to me. It's a top 5.
All right, let's look at, okay. We got Heat. This is the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? We got Heat, Pistons, Cavs, Knicks, Rockets, Mavericks, Sixers, Bucks, and Jazz. Anything that should be moved in here that we think?
I think the Sixers. If we state that the Sixers and Mavs are equivocal, like the Houston, Mavs, Sixers, they're very equivocal to one another. Like those 3 positions are interchangeable. Like if we're talking about overall legacy and like how well the teams are doing now and like versus in the past, I think those 3 teams are all equivocal.
That's fair because the Rockets are not doing too hot right now. Sixers are doing quite well. Mavs are looking to upset somebody.
Yeah, Mavs have been like consistent like that whole time.
My only contention with this list is that I think Bucks should probably go behind Jazz.
Bucks. Okay, let's do that.
Even with them winning recently?
They just got 1 chip, bro.
Yeah.
The Jazz have been better for longer, you know what I mean?
Okay.
We're talking all time, right?
Yeah. The whole legacy of the team being alive.
All right. I'm fine with that then. Yeah.
All right, so our mediocre teams, I think our mediocre is the one we got perfect. Our mediocre spot on.
I'm curious about one thing about this list.
Okay.
What you got?
It's the Memphis Grizzlies. And it was one of the first ones that we picked.
You think?
Where are you thinking?
Well, it's just weird because look at our criteria, right?
Yeah. It's rings, it's championships, playoff appearances,
and then
overall legacy and how they're currently doing.
And then how they're currently doing, and then like good players, right? Like I would say like Hall of Famers, right?
Yeah. The Memphis Grizzlies have no first ballot Hall of Famers.
None.
So where do you think they move to? I mean, they don't go to dumpster fire.
No, definitely not.
I'm just saying.
Honestly,
I think they move to the bottom of this list because, all right, think of your ballot Hall of Famers, right? Let's look at Pacers that are behind them, right?
Yeah.
Paul George. Reggie Miller, right? And you think of any? I mean, at least those 2, right?
Ron Artest.
Artest, yep.
Meta World Peace. World Peace.
Meta Peace. Oh, yeah. Right. All right. Now let's look at and by the way, can you name any from the Grizzlies? Any? John Morant potentially, but I don't know any before him. Mike Conley's not going to get it.
No, and then what? Zack Randolph is the Grizzlies' best player of all time. Zack Randolph, he would have got it already.
He's not going to get it.
Yeah, Zack Randolph was cold, but he wasn't that cold.
He honestly wasn't that good. He was defensive. He was good at defense. But, Nuggets, we got
Melo.
I'm sure there was some old school motherfuckers there that I can't even think of. Let's see.
So what? So do we move the Grizzlies above the Hawks, below the Hawks?
He's thinking below.
You're thinking below the Hawks?
Mutombo
was on the Nuggets, but he was also on the Hawks, right?
No, true.
Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey and AI.
And AI. Yeah, all the rest of these guys ain't gonna be Hall of Famers.
All right. So yeah, we can knock them to the bottom then.
That's all I'm saying. I don't.
I wouldn't see any problem with knocking them to the bottom. They don't go to dumpster fire.
They don't go to dumpster. No, they don't go to dumpster fire. No. But if you just look at players, right? And these two, the Hawks and the Memphis, that could be interchangeable because I don't even know. I feel like the Hawks might have had some really good players that I don't remember from the 80s.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. They had Daryl Dawkins. They had Mutombo. They had
Wilkins.
Dominique Wilkins.
Oh, Dominique Wilkins for sure, dude. Yep. Oh, yeah, that little bit right there, right?
Yeah.
So you think at the bottom?
Oh, apparently Doc Rivers. I didn't even realize he put.
They did?
Yeah, Doc Rivers. Okay. That's what I think. All right. Y'all cool with that?
All right. So then dumpster fire. How's dumpster fire looking? Besides terrible.
Other than looking like an absolute dumpster fire, it's kind of correct.
I don't think it looks that bad, dude.
Kings are the worst team in the league, and Minnesota has to be right next to them.
I mean, yeah, honestly, I don't think this looks that bad. I think we pretty much got this one spot on.
Do we? If I may have one question, I think we're good too. But if I may ask one
my
thing,
question would be: do we bump up OKC to mediocre?
I was wondering if we bump the Clippers above OKC.
Damn. I think we should keep them both in dumpster fire for that one reason and just leave them as equivocal.
That's fair. That's fair.
The reason I ask is, hear me out. The Thunders, remind you, went to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason, what was that series with the Big Three and Miami?
4-1.
So they got stomped pretty good.
Yeah.
But they were the second best team in the league that year. No questions asked, right?
I think, yeah.
Serge Ibaka, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, right?
Yeah.
But that's 1 year, and that's not even a year that they won.
Yeah, and then after that, they never got there ever again. They either got smacked by the Spurs or the Warriors.
But mind you, if you look at all the rest of these teams on the dumpster fire list, right? Look at them all, right? Not a single one of those have made a finals appearance.
The Orlando Magic, Dwight Howard,
and Orlando. All right, so let's think about that. We need to move Orlando Magic because we're disrespecting them then. And not just because of Dwight Howard, they made it to the finals with Shaq and Penny too.
Okay. So then if that's the case, then we move Magic to the front of dumpster fire, and then it's got to be locked because everything behind them is worse.
Based off our current criteria, that makes sense.
How does that look?
Magic, OKC, Clippers, Nets, Pelicans, Trailblazers, Hornets, Wizards. Honestly,
well, and then even the
Trailblazers would have to go above the Clippers.
I would agree. By this criteria, right?
Yeah, I mean, their current track is trash. Like what they're doing now is trash. But 2 years ago, this team was on fire.
And there was the year that they made it and got stomped. I think it was 4-0, but it was. Blazers versus.
Oh, by the Warriors?
No,
I think they did get 4-0.
No, I'm talking about Jordan. When Jordan just destroyed Drexler,
Yeah, Drexler.
Their only finals appearance.
But they did get 4-0'd. You are right though, Tyler. They did get 4-0'd.
No, by Golden State, right?
I think they both. Yeah. I think both of the teams did. I think the Drexler team did too.
Yeah.
And I think when asked about it, Jordan was like, "Drexler."
He made it personal.
No, I think because they were asking me like him being Hall of Fame, and he was like, "That guy." Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we made a decent tier list. I'm happy that we got a chance to make this.
This might be the best tier list of all time.